Okay, so I think the video went out on the other one, but we're going to bind this side as well. And then that'll be shaved down. We're going to sand the top and then epoxy that. So I'm just going in here with super glue, just a little bit, and then once the glue has set and we're happy with everything, if there are any gaps, we'll go in there with super thin star bond. And star bond, it sands almost like a finish, so it's very good for binding. So I'm just going to start off with this, and I'm going past the routed bit here because I want to be able to make that edge nice. So we're going to bevel this edge into the routing, and to do that we need to go past the point where we routed. Binding a single layer binding like I'm doing here. There's no real trick to it. However, if you are binding a two-layer binding like black and white or herringbone, then you have other issues to deal with. The double layer bindings, you may have to either fuse them together using acetone before you start binding. That's what I would do, but to be honest, I haven't really bound any guitars with two. I haven't made a purfling or anything like that yet. So, just gonna cut this off, go a bit away from where you're gluing it, and we're gonna have to sort of squeeze this in a bit. I could have heated it up, but it's not too big a curve, and this binding is very flexible, so I might just try and keep that in place there while it's gluing. So the next point will be to do this piece, then this smaller piece, and then the pieces on the side of the neck pocket. And as I said, we don't need to miter anything when we only have a single binding. We just fuse it together using acetone, and we can do that after. But sort of bend the sides out and get the piece in the middle where it wants to be. Glue that in place, or get the glue in place anyway. Put acetone on the side and on the sides of the smaller piece, and then let the edges close in. That's a nice way of doing it. So this super glue sets pretty quickly. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We have a couple of gaps, but that's in the routing channel, because I can feel on the outside that it's pretty much where it needs to be. So let's find our star bond, and might get some nibs for this. but I'm going to do that after because the nibs tend to get destroyed pretty quickly. So that's pretty much how I bind my guitar. Alright, so my binding and taping has been done. Now I'm just gonna fill in the small gaps that I can see. I have my star bond. This is super thin glue, dries black, and one of these precision nibs. These come with like 10 pieces, I think. Now they have white, black and clear glue, I believe. I only have the black ones because, well, that's what I need. If you can see it sort of go in, then you know that it was well placed. I have a couple more of these I'm gonna do. So next part will be shaving. Alright, can't really remember where we left off, but this has been setting now for a couple of hours. All the glue should be hardened. We're going to remove the tape and start scraping the binding down using the scraper again. Now, if you don't have a scraper, you can use a file. Just be careful to go take long strokes going along the binding. Don't go this way until it's down and then moving the file. Take long broad strokes to avoid damaging the wood or getting low spots in that. So that's what we're going to do now. Also, I removed the gluing of the headstock. Veneer is done, but we're not going to start that now. Now we're going to do this and do the binding, scraping, and start sanding. So I'm going to do this in fast forward as well because it's not really exciting to see me scraping some binding. Alright, so all I've done is remove the tape. Here you can see how it looks where the acetone has done its work. I fused these together to get a nice joint where these meet. Now this one, this is filled in, it's not a gap, it just looks like that. I'm not really happy with this. I wanted this also to come out like that, but the nature of the binding wouldn't let me do that. So we'll see how it looks once it's all scraped down. I might just cut this off and then acetone it to the outside so that we get a nice an edge that follows the wood. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think I'll do that right now, because then we can shave it down. No, we're going to start just scraping now to begin with. These dark bits are where I made that paste of the dust, and yeah, so anyway, I'm going to start scraping now. All right, so that's the binding done. As you can see, it came loose in the back. And so I had to put some glue down there, but it sets pretty quick. As you can see here, this is where I joined the two pieces with acetone, and it's completely fused, making a beautiful splice and a beautiful binding angle. So practice with acetone and your binding it'll ease your mitering when binding.